Hey guys, it's Tony here at gamefreakblog, bringing you another video. Just before we dive straight back into my Let's Play of Star Wars Battlefront 2, I thought I'd just change it up a bit, bring you a few different videos, just some stuff that I kind of feel like playing or feel like showing you. And today is one of those days, so I'm going to show you some Vandal Hearts, as you can see on the screen. This was released in 1997. I think that was the US and UK release dates for the game. It came out in '96 in Japan, and it's released and developed by Konami. And this is when Konami were like Konami as they are not today. This is kind of like you remember how good Konami was in the days of the SNES, when you had like Cybernator and Contra and Castlevania and just string after string of absolutely amazing games. And it was absolutely the same on the PS1 era. I mean, if you think back to the kind of quality that you had on the PS1 from Konami, back when the PS1 was big, I mean, Sudoku, Contra, Castlevania, Bishi Bashi, International Superstar Soccer, of course, Metal Gear Solid, Beatmania, Silent Hill, just string after string of absolutely top games, and this was one of them. And it's one of these games that you don't really hear that many people talking about. It's a strategy RPG, if you like, so it's very similar to things like Final Fantasy Tactics, Tactics Ogre, some of the Shining games. If you've played any of those, or have played something modern like Xcom, you'll know the kind of game that it is. You've got like a small map. It's very unit based. You've got like lots of different unit combat. The great thing with this was the customization with the games. You could start off as, let's say, an archer character, and when you got to level the character up, you could take two different pathways, and each pathway had increasingly stronger stats, and it actually changed the physical appearance of your character too. So I'm waffling as it is. I'm going to talk a bit more as we're going in, but I just wanted to show you the game because it's one of these that kind of like sneaks past people. You don't really hear that many people talking about it when they talk about absolutely tip-top quality games. So we're just going to dive straight in. That's just a demo played in there. We're just going to go right from the very start. We're not going to jump in or any, I'm not going to give you any save or anything like that.
Sostagaria. For over a millennium, the fertile lands in the heart of this vast continent were ruled by the Holy Asha dynasty, descendants of Taroa the Messiah.
Of course they were.
However, it is man's doom to forget. Amidst all the wealth and exotic pleasures, the nobility lost their way and sank into corruption and depravity, forgetting even the holy teaching of Taroa. It was in these days of unrest that the citizens, struggling under an oppressive regime, rose up and, under the leadership of Aris the Sage, took up arms against the kingdom. That was the first outbreak of violence in what would later be known simply as the Revolution. The royal army's counterattack was swift and fierce, but time and time again they were put to flight by the cunning strategies of Aris and the indomitable will of the advancing Liberation Army.
Not the Liberation Army.
Victory in hand, the rebels set up a council and worked to establish the continent's first democracy. And so, the Republic of Ishtaria was born. However, Aris the Sage, whom all hoped would lead the country, mysteriously vanished and has not been seen again to this day.
Basil von Plot exposition there.
Now, 15 years later, the shadow of war once again threatens Ishtaria.
So corrupt government, war, death, your typical setup for this kind of thing. Been here, done that, haven't we? Just a blatant loading screen there. 12:54 at Gilbaris Island. Castle ruins. So we're still not in control yet. This is just a bit of the intro. It's a shithole. Love it how he sent all of his troops in first. Couldn't have been that well hidden. You found it. A palantir. Well, kind of, but not. Oh, that sparkle. It's his precious. You will go touching random little crystal balls, won't you, mister? Meanwhile, in people who don't touch anything country, a premonition of war. I often feel like the game things like this, and lots of the levels in Doom as well, they've got wicked like death metal album titles. A premonition of war. That'd make a great metal album cover title even, or song name. If I was still in a band, I'd go through and make loads of songs just named after Doom levels. Knee Deep in the Dead, that was one, wasn't it? Just such a fantastic song name. Ash. No, it's not Pokemon. Man called Ash. This wasn't the game. Trouble Brews. Uh-oh. Pesky bandits. Fangs of Umbarbar. I want to know who Umbarbar is. I love the vocabulary that they use in these games. Ignorance is the root of misfortune, as they say. I mean, it's quite verbose for a PlayStation era Konami game. Okay, so here's the boss, Zoot, you great big fatty. Man called Ash. Right, so who are these merchants, eh? You call him baby. That's what you get for calling him baby. Yeah, it doesn't hold back on the claret, this game. It's, yeah, pretty much everyone explodes like that. A la Fist of the North Star. Like, they've all been trained in Hokuto Shinken. Cue the big reveal. So, yeah, they're not just innocent peddlers, merchants. They are Ash of the Black Wind. No, that's only after Dr. Maglu's Amber Enema even. I'm forgetting my Blackadder quotes. Yeah, so essentially, I don't know if it is meant to be a trap that they've sprung, but yeah, the guys that we're playing are elite soldiers. And yeah, we've got to try and capture the boss. So we'll get the battle conditions and everything here. So defeat Zoot, that's what we've got to get. That's our battle condition. And the enemy's battle condition is to kill Ash. So essentially, as you can see, it's kind of your collar buttons basically spin it round and change the. I always kind of like having it a bit like this kind of isometric view, maybe not so high. So yeah, you've got each character here. If you've played any strategy game, you'll get it. So elevation gives you point bonuses for when you're hitting. So if you're, let's say, up, let's just take this guy here. If you're down here below and he decides to attack you, he'll get an increased hit percentage when he strikes, because of, you know, he has that high ground, like Obi-Wan said to Anakin in that really bad film. And there's also, if you attack from behind, you'll get an attack bonus, or from the sides are slightly less, whereas if you attack from the front, the chances are that they can counter, or the damage will just be less anyway. And the same for you, if you get attacked from the rear or anything like that, you know, it's not a good idea. So we're just going to, the majority of their forces are down here, so we're going to go into a kind of attacking retreat and then regroup, because we don't want to get swamped. So you have Ash, that's his skill, spells and items, etc. So move, action, examine. There's certain things in the level you've got to open doors and push things around. It is fairly interactive. So we're just going to move and take care of this guy at the back here. You know, just this general grunt. Action. So we're just going to give him a taste of steel from the side. Oh, nice. One hit kill. Cool. 32 XP straight away. So Ash can stay down there. Diego. Let's see. I'm going to go from the front just because we've got backup at the back. I'll show you how this system works. So we've got action, attack. Let's just jump into him. Nice flourish of the sword beforehand. So there you see, he had a counter because we attacked him from the front, but luckily we blocked that, and he got 30 experience points for it. So let's get Diego. So we're going to move Diego straight up behind Clint. I'm forgetting Clint's name here. Now, if you're next to somebody when you're performing an action, if you're behind them or to the side, you'll get a support action which boosts your attack, or boosts your magic, or boosts your, you know, your health, whatever you give. So we're just going to, because he's an archer, he can obviously fire over any target. So we're just going to, there you go, look, support. Bam, straight in the jugular. So that's all we can do. So we've left Diego a little bit, because he's an archer, he's pretty weak. Clint's our tank of the group. We've left him pretty exposed, because these guys are just going to come flooding straight up now. And they tend to hunt for blood. As soon as somebody's, it's a bit like Final Fantasy Tactics in that way. As soon as someone's taken damage, everyone seems to, you know, it's like the computer's programmed them to come straight towards them and take them. So let's go for the turnover and the enemy turn. There's nothing much we can't handle at this level. It'd be pretty crap if we lose anybody. Excuse me. So yeah, Diego will get a counter. I'm not sure if everybody gets counters in this. I think you do just by default. It's not like a skill or anything. We're going to try and mop up everybody before we take out Zoot, just because the experience, you know. Plus, at this moment in time, we're pretty tough. I'm just wondering. Let's see where we can move Clint. I kind of don't really want to move him. What we'll do, can we move Diego. So I'm just, you've got to kind of think about three moves ahead. Let's oh no. Yeah, we can get him. So obviously he's not going to be able to counter an archer attack because we're nowhere near him. Whereas if you stand right next to him as an archer and shoot him, he can obviously get a counter attack in there. Where can Ash move to? Yeah, I'm going to just move him up here because He's tough. He might be able to take this guy out in one hit. Yeah, he'll definitely be able to kill him. So that's thinning out the pack a little bit more. Can Clint get to this other guy? No. But we can cover his back, see? And you see, you do get to position here, so you get to position your people. So we're just going to leave it there because we haven't really taken any damage. He's doing what? Yeah. Counter. Nice. So the counter took him straight out. You can do what you want, Lardy. Kind of hurt a bit. Alright, so who's left? So there's just the archer and so let's see if we can take this archer out with Diego. Maybe because we're uphill. Oh, damn it. He's obviously, yeah, he's an archer. So see, his attack was quite low because, is he leveling up? Yeah, nice. His attack was quite low because he was firing up. Yeah. When it's down to like these, with all games like this, whenever you're down to like two enemies left on screen, you can't, you know, even if he came around and hit us all once, we're all going to live still. He's not really going to do anything. So you may as well just spend the time and get the experience and mop up. No, the only dangerous thing is if he comes around here with his attacks. What have we got? 17. Oh no, we should be fine. He's got 17 bloody hit points left. He'll be killed as soon as he does a counter anyway. So. Oh, he's legging it, is he? Oh, okay, he's healing. Okay, then, fatty, play it like that then. He's got the high ground too. No, actually, you can. Don't think I'll be able to hit him from there. I can give it a go. No. I'm just going to end the turn because he's going to have to come down and get stuck in. See, he always goes for your back. That could be really, really perilous. I'm going to have to heal. Run away and heal him. Yeah, so I can heal up. Right, now it's time to absolutely batter his fat ass. Come on. Oh. This should hurt him. Right, it's going to be done as soon as Clint gets stuck in. And there you go. Don't kill me, I'm pleading. You big fanny. So at least they all leveled up out of that game. We won. I love the little tally it gives you at the end here. So yeah, so as I said, I mean this is basically just the introduction. It's your typical kind of strategy game. You get to buy different weapons and things, but it's really when the customization comes into it that it starts really getting into its own. Come on. Is it frozen? Is it frozen? Well, we're done anyway. This is all I wanted to show you. We do go on from here and have a little natter with the guy who tells you about some shifty things that's going on. But anyway, at that inopportune or opportune moment, I want to thank you for watching the video. This has been Vandal Hearts. Check it out. It's fairly expensive. You're probably looking to get a physical copy on PS1. About 20 to 30 quid. It may have even gone up since the last time I looked. But I know that it's recently been fetching those kind of numbers. But anyway, yeah, Vandal Hearts PS1, fantastic game. If you haven't got a PS1 or anything like that, you can buy it on the PlayStation Network if you've got a PS3. I'm not sure if it came out on the Xbox 360, it may have done, but you can get Vandal Hearts Flame of Judgment on that, which is the prequel to this game, which is also really good. So anyway, Tony from Game Freak Blog signing out for another video. Take care then, guys. Bye bye.